Well, Chalk Talk going to be a little bit different this week, largely because there's two words I cannot get out of my mind because you don't hear them a lot in the NFL. And this was head coach Pete Carroll this week on Monday talking to Mike and I and using those words. Easy yards. Easy yardage is actually what he said. And when you're talking easy yardage in the NFL, typically that never exists. Okay, Dave Wyman says all the time when you listen to him, and he's exactly right, and Paul Moyer and any defensive guy, this game is hard. You talk to anybody that played this position in particular or this position at running back or trying to block people in the NFL, it's the best of the best. The league is built on parity. There is not that much separation from a talent perspective team to team. So to think that anything ever comes easy in the NFL is a stretch. And Pete didn't use these words in a flippant nature, but what he is talking about, and when you watch a couple plays in particular, you do see the bind that this zone read, that this quarterback, that this system with this running back right now is putting some of these defenses into. So let's just step back and look at a little more global picture. And let me just tell you one more little story. Chip Kelly, Chip Kelly, the guy that's taken this zone read option to a whole new level in college football. You know who came and studied at the University of Oregon this last offseason? Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, went out to Eugene, Oregon for a couple days during the NBA lockout because he wanted to learn how Chip Kelly plays the game in space, even though they're entirely different games. And even though the spread offense has been said to be basketball on grass, an NBA coach, before they went on to win a title, went out to Eugene to see how does Chip Kelly look at the game, just look at it spatially. And that's what I want to do a little bit here and how we're going to get to some easy yardage and the impact and the effect it has. So this was the last play of the third quarter. It was one of the rare plays where Russell actually kept the ball, and it was a significant play. It was nearly a 20-yard rush play. And what you see the Jets do, what a lot of teams have done against the Seahawks, and really what we anticipated going in, is you're going to see a lot of one-on-one coverage. You're going to see a lot of man. Until these guys prove on a consistent, explosive way that they can beat one-on-one and make you pay, you're going to see a bunch of man coverage. You also see that because it gives the defense a chance to get an extra defender, seemingly around the line of scrimmage to help in that run game. Now, what the Jets are going to do is they're going to play man, a very traditional, six-man box. You've got your tight end there. They're going to mess around with their safeties a little bit. And everything, absolutely everything in this little zone play out of the shotgun where he puts it in Marshawn's stomach and Zach Miller comes across to cut off the backside end, and it's all of your zone blocking scheme. Good angles, everybody getting a chance to get a hat on a hat and run with Marshawn, and all the flows going that way. And when you watch this play, just keep an eye on this guy. You want to know why these words were used, easy yardage? Watch the effect that this end has. In fact, this is the easiest block Zach Miller will ever make. Calvin Pace, this end, is chasing this play so far down that actually Miller had to do what the term's called logging him. He actually had to come back and log him. And because of that, just from a spatial standpoint, and that's what this is about. This is just looking at the space on the field and how hard it is to create chasms in the NFL. Because this end overplays it, you honest to goodness, have this much space to attack. If this were relative of a football field, you have this much space that you have now created as Baldwin runs off. That much space. Everybody is committed. That is what Pete is saying with easy yardage. That just typically doesn't happen. Seeing a void that big and that significant, and it happens because of the impact of the run. It happens because everything looks like run and looks like that zone. It happens because then you have a quarterback that can make that fake, and at a 4.6 40 has the ability, before everyone can compensate and react and rally back to him, to take advantage of that void in the defense. Now let's take this next step. So there's your attack, your easy yardage. That is the immense void that was created in that play action. So what do 3 plays later? Well, they're going to come back and use many of the same concepts and many of the same thoughts. And instead of a run play, you're going to now see, well, how do we attack space? Well, let's get to a trip set here. Let's move our receivers around a little bit. And let's get to trips, and you're going to see the same 6-man box from the New York Jets. You're going to see the same man-to-man coverage. But now, instead of creating that void here, for a run game, well, now you've got perfect angles and opportunities to win in man coverage. And once again, taking advantage of voids and opportunities in the defense, and this time it was actually Turbin in the backfield, and it was play pass here. So we saw them attack a void here. Well, now this time, instead of running, let's attack this same void, and let's get man-to-man coverage, and let's get influence and impact this whole line of scrimmage, and get me my simple one-on-one, and my guy Sidney Rice can beat the DB. Russell makes a perfect throw off of the play pass. So whether it's through the easy yardage of a run, whether it's the same concept, the same zone read, the same play action, giving a defense multiple looks at the same target, yet not knowing what's ever coming next, that's how you start to become explosive and dominant offensively.